What's up in there? It's been very difficult to record lately, and this is the reason why it took me a while to post this video. We are still on the 5th season talking about your health, and I've made some introductory videos on what you should be looking for, why you should take care of your health, why physical activity is important, and so on. But before going on in this season about your health and talking about the way you should take care of yourself and so on, I wanted to talk about something that normally, for some reason, people just leave it to the side. They don't go much to this topic. They mention en passant, above all, people who are called fitness influencers, but they don't take care of it. They don't dedicate time and attention to it. And I think it's one of the most important things if you want to be healthy and not simply have a physique that gets some likes when you post pictures. Doctors will talk about it in videos when they talk about your health, but the doctors, not people who are talking about fitness or working out or doing some physical activity, and it's a pity. And it's obviously sleeping. Sleeping is probably the most underrated thing when it comes to taking care of your health, because people focus a lot on I need to train, but basically I need to go to the gym. And some people who are a little bit more into it and want to do things well, they talk about nutrition, about eating well. And we basically stop in there. There are exceptions, of course. There are people who talk about that. But when you compare to the vast majority of people and the ones who reach so many people, who reach a huge public, you don't see people giving too much attention to sleep. And I can tell you something. If your sleep is not good, if your sleep is not healthy, and if your sleep is not enough for being considered healthy, you can eat as well as you want and you can train as much as you want. At most, you're going to get a decent physique. If you want to stop in there and all you want is to get some likes in Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and so on, it's all good and fine. But if you want to be healthy, and this season is about health, it's not about being fit, it's not about being single digit body fat percentage. I couldn't care less about these things. This is a season about how you can lead a healthy life and be a healthy person. And one of the most crucial things for that is to get good and enough sleep. What do I mean by good and enough sleep? Enough sleep is an amount of hours that you are going to sleep daily that is going to be consistent, that is going to be solid, that is not going to get altered very easy. And even though there are several discussions about how many hours, this and that, and depending on your daily life and depending on what you do, this and that, I can tell you something. 5 hours sleep a day is not healthy. 5 hours sleep a day, 4, 3 is not enough. It doesn't matter your daily life. It doesn't matter the way you eat. It doesn't matter if you don't train much or anything like that. If you're sleeping 4 or 5 hours a day, you're not sleeping enough. It's just easy as that. Then from that on, I mean, there will be discussions and studies and people proving A plus B and C and blah, blah, blah. But everyone will be agreeing more or less around 7 hours and a half, 8 hours and a half, something like that. But then there is another thing. It's not only about you need to sleep this amount of hours per night, 7, 8, something like this to lead a healthy life. You need to sleep these 7, 8 hours in a row at once. Don't tell me that you sleep 4 hours a night and then in the afternoon you get 1 hour nap and then at the end of the afternoon you get another hour nap. And while you are at work during the day, you get a 30 minutes power nap. So you are around 7 hours and everything is good. That's not good. That's not healthy. You are just doing the mathematics of it. But sometimes health is more than just mathematics. You can't just tell me, no, if I put together all the minutes and naps and hours that I sleep and nap in a day, I'm getting close to 6, 7 hours. Yeah, but during the night when you went to your official sleep, you slept 4 hours, 4 hours and a half. That's not good. That's not healthy. It's not gonna help you maximize your energy capacity. It's not gonna help you waking up with all the energy that you have, that you could have. And then you tell me, but I want to start those routines of waking up 5 in the morning, like A, B, and C do, and they are very famous, and they are fit, and they are rich, and blah, blah, blah. You can do that. You can wake up at 5 in the morning if you think this is going to help you, and if you think this is really going to make you make big transformations in your life, good transformations in your life. You can do that, but please go to bed at 10 p.m. at most. Maybe earlier if possible, 9:30. Then it's all good and fine if you want to wake up 5 in the morning. I don't wake up 5 in the morning. I would never post a morning routine because I'm not a morning person. I don't wake up early, but I get my 8 hours at night. They are religious for me. They are sacred for me. I don't negotiate them. It doesn't matter how much work I have. It doesn't matter what I have to do. I do not negotiate my sleep. And I can tell you something, a lot of people, friends of mine, people who are close to me, they always tell me, oh, but you traveled the whole night, you had a connecting flight, this and that, and you look so fresh even though you didn't sleep well last night. Yeah, it happens because I travel a lot, I fly a lot, and sometimes I have these kind of night flights or connecting flights that are not so comfortable and you don't have a proper place to sleep. But as I sleep every single day of my life, 8 hours a day in a decent schedule, and at once, I don't take like afternoon naps and this and that. I just sleep 8 hours at night, at least 8 hours and a half sometimes. That helps me keeping this kind of fresh appearance, not looking that I'm exhausted, tired, and so on, even when I go through a hard situation like this, because it is a hard situation, taking an overnight flight or having a connection that makes you stay overnight at the airport or something like this. It's not the most comfortable thing, and it's not healthy. Of course, it's not healthy. But if you have on a daily basis a good night of sleep, and it's the regular schedule of your life, when this one exception happens, you are not going to be destroyed on the following day. So take care, take good care of your sleep. Another thing that I would like to add, I don't know if it works for you. I'm going to tell you what works for me, okay? I'm not giving you like a general advice that is going to work for absolutely everyone. I'm telling you what works for me, and I think you should look what works for you. I need darkness to sleep. I need darkness for a profound, deep sleep, and to not be awakened very easily, to not wake up with the first ray of light. So whenever I am going to sleep, I always try, even though I'm flying a lot and traveling a lot, I always try to get a place to sleep where I can make the room, the bedroom, the place where I'm going to sleep, really, really dark, but black dark, like a blackout total. And then you're going to tell me, oh, but then the morning comes, the sun comes, and your room is dark, and you don't know what time is it, and you can sleep until 12, 1 p.m., 2 p.m. Not if you set up an alarm. If you set up an alarm, it's easy. You just darken your room, you set up an alarm, the alarm rings, and you wake up. Because you want to be disciplined, you want to do things right, you want to be demanding with yourself. So you darken your room, you put an alarm, and you wake up, and everything is good and fine. For me, if the room where I'm sleeping gets a lot of light, as soon as the morning comes, the room is extremely enlightened and clear and so on, it wakes me up and I can't sleep anymore. So it ruins my sleep completely. If that works for you, sleeping with light and so on, and you can go on and on for about 8 hours a night, 7 hours, 7 hours and a half, maybe 8 hours and a half, that's great. Go for it and sleep the way you find better and healthier. But try to find a way where you always feel comfortable, where you always feel that you can fall into a deep and profound sleep, because this is going to make the whole difference for you. And last but not least, a good night of sleep, in my opinion, is preceded by the last 2 or 3 hours before sleeping of cooling down your system. And how do you cool down your system? Well, the first thing you want to do is you don't want to eat right before sleeping. That's the first thing. Second thing, you don't want to be doing cell phone, computer, anything behind the black mirror right before you go to sleep, because this is a super exciting stimulation for your brain and so on. It's like, I don't know, taking a Red Bull or a cup of coffee or something like this. So try to avoid using social media, your phone, computer, and so on before sleeping. And then you ask me also, what should I do before I go to bed? What should I do in the 2 hours before I go to sleep? I don't know you. I can tell you what I do and what works pretty well for me, and I like it a lot. I like to read before going to bed. I like to go to literature, classic literature. I like to go to poetry above all. And if you want to try that, if you are into reading like me, and you want to try good books, good poetry, good classic literature, try to go for that before sleeping. I have the impression that you are going to have a better, a more pacific, and a calmer night of sleep, because you're not going to get overstimulated right before going to bed. And right before going to bed, what you want is to start cooling down your system, fading out your energy and your attitude, your behavior, your mobility, everything that involves your activity in your daily life. So if you want to lead a healthy life and you want to have a good result from the exercises that you do, from the nutrition that you're trying to pursue, that you consider healthy, please consider good nights of sleep. And let me know how it goes, because I think you're going to thank me later. See you in the next episode.